Hello viewers, Sniper Wolf 1001 here, and today I wanted to do a little bit of a reactionary video to the Monster Hunter Dev Diary number 6. So prior to this, I actually did a video based on Alatreon and my thoughts on what Capcom could possibly do with his moveset toward his release based off of his moveset in 3U, and then I also talked about some, the possible direction Capcom could take with future DLC, after Frostfang Barioth and all this other stuff with like the merchandise and whatnot. So now that we finally have some more concrete information on Alatreon's moveset and his various features, as well as Frostfang Barioth and stuff, I actually kind of wanted to share my thoughts on that as we go through this dev diary. So I don't think we're going to watch the whole diary. I'm going to skip through a bunch of stuff, but yeah, let's get this ball rolling. So yeah, a lot of that stuff we've already seen so far in the previous trailers. Except for that Ice Breath. I don't think we've seen that Ice Breath move yet. Alright, so I'm going to skip through a bit of this intro here. And get straight to the trailer for Alatreon here. Man, I love the quaking effects there as Alatreon's shifting into his next mode. That's so cool. And so far, what we've been hearing from his theme is actually kind of interesting.
This time we'll be focusing on what's in store for this update. But we'll also talk about what's ahead on the roadmap, so stay tuned for that.
Alatreon.
So we have two new monsters to talk about today. The first one is Alatreon, the blazing black dragon.
Alatreon first appeared in Monster Hunter 3. Being the final boss, it certainly left a big impression on many players.
That's for sure.
And just like before, Alatreon can also change its elements.
See, so this move is a little interesting, that Frost Breath. So I think that's supposed to be... I think they repurposed Alatreon's previous Ice Breath move, the one where he kind of hovers in midair and kind of sprays down to the ground. I'm guessing he doesn't have that anymore, and they kind of repurposed it into this. This kind of reminds me a lot of Velkhana's move, where with the ice crystals sticking out of the ground, Velkhana will kind of shoot an Ice Breath move through those crystals. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Alatreon actually does have some moves that are very similar to Velkhana. I think probably because I think Alatreon's using the same skeleton, so I think there's a lot of overlap there.
Between fire active, ice active, and so on at will. With each element, its attacks...
So this I actually thought was pretty interesting. So I didn't realize that they were actually going to be focusing on specific modes for Alatreon. I thought that his elemental attacks will come out more at random, similar to how they were with 3U. But yeah, it seems like he has a fire mode, a dragon mode, and an ice mode. So 3 modes here. I thought that they would have had a lightning mode as well too, but he still does do lightning moves, but I think I think those moves kind of come out randomly in these different modes. So this is kind of interesting. And then more on this as he shifts through his different modes. I think these mechanics are kind of interesting here.
You'll have to strategize with your teammates, whether to split up covering the element...
Also, this is super interesting, this move right here, because that looks like a water-based move. So I think Alatreon is finally able to do every single elemental attack in this game, which is ridiculous, because before he couldn't use water, now it seems like he can pretty much do everything. And that move in particular, as well as another move that's very similar to what Velkhana can do. I think that move is part of Velkhana's startup to its super move, where it kind of sprays ice in a circular mode and then it flies up. So again, some Velkhana overlap there, but that is actually pretty significant. The fact that Alatreon can do a water-based move, that is actually kind of cool.
For each bring
So there we
individual
have some of the
strategies that will
the
play
lightning
well
attacks
against
coming out while
anyone.
he's in his dragon mode there. So you can see that those different elemental modes are coming out while he's or elemental attacks are coming out while he's in different modes.
Players need to be especially wary of one thing: the powerful shockwave it emits when changing.
This is super interesting. Escaton Judgment. I didn't expect them to do this. Like, we saw this in the previous trailers. I thought that this might be them showing off Alatreon's super move, but it seems like he's actually going to be having a move for each of his elemental shifts, which is actually really interesting.
Between elements.
And this part is super scary. Like,
That doesn't look good.
that is... It seems like as he's shifting to fire, he pretty much gains Lunastra levels of deadliness right there with his effect. Completely surrounds the area in deadly heat, and it just rapidly drains your HP. So that is really scary. I wonder what the range on that
There is a
looks
way to mitigate
is
the
actually
shockwave's
like.
power. You'll need to attack Alatreon with elemental weapons and continue to damage it.
So that's also another interesting detail, because they mentioned that as Alatreon goes into his different elemental modes, his weaknesses change, which I don't believe that was a thing in 3U, because he didn't really have modes. He kind of just used his elements randomly. But now it actually seems like your armor spec kind of does matter to a little bit more of a degree in this game now, because you kind of want to make sure that you're putting in those elemental attacks to counter whatever mode he's in, so that you can reduce the effects of Escaton Judgment. So that whole back and forth seems kind of interesting. It seems like if you're partying up, you kind of want to make sure that you have a balance between the various elements of what everybody's using. So that seems like it's going to be it's going to play into some really interesting strategy going forward into Alatreon here.
You and your team might be able to survive the shockwave by helping each other out.
There's definitely going to be a lot of healing items being used in this fight, that's for sure. A lot of life dust, life powders.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun battle. Of course, we can't forget about the Alatreon equipment.
Oh yeah, let me see this.
One of the really unique features of the Alatreon is
Alatreon's
its
model
jagged
looks so
scales.
good.
We took that as inspiration to create a similar design for the equipment.
Oh, here we go. Alatreon armor.
It encapsulates all the elegance and ferocity.
This
of an
this is super cool. So yeah, I believe this is like the same armor that you get in 3U, and it looks so good repurposed into Iceborne now. The model just looks incredible here.
What's more, the weapons have a truly menacing feel to them too. They've got a deadly glow that we think
Okay.
will.
As soon as I saw this, like, I freaked out. Like, of course they were going to do it, but they brought back Alatreon's longsword. I've always loved this design. This is so cool, because it's like a giant black scythe with like dragon energy on the bottom of it. This was hands down my favorite looking weapon that you could craft with Alatreon's pieces in 3U. This is so cool that it's back in Iceborne. So yeah, I'm super hyped for that.
Really enjoy.
How are the skills and abilities?
And I'm so glad the Palico gets like a miniature version of that scythe. That's actually pretty cool. Palico armor looks really nice.
Yes, there are some new set bonus skills. With these skills, your armor's elemental resistance will affect your weapons as well.
So yeah, this is actually a pretty interesting set bonus for Alatreon's armor. So, you know, we got Alatreon Divinity, so your weapon's elemental power increases as your armor's elemental resistance increases. So, yeah, the more that you bolster your armor's resistance, the more power that your weapons get in that specific element. So, that's going to be really interesting, because I feel like that's going to be really good for dual bladers, since we're already focused on element to begin with. But yeah, it's going to be increasing the more elemental play in the game, which is kind of cool. I wonder if that's going to... I really want to see what the damage numbers are going to be like on this once you max it out and see what the optimal output is, because I want to see if this can rival the Silver Rathalos armor set in the game currently, because right now, you know, true critical element you can't really like that is like the best ability to have when it comes to elemental attack power. So I really wonder how this is going to stack up to that.
As you raise your elemental resistance, your weapons will be stronger in that element too.
Yeah, so this whole back and forth seems like it's going to be really interesting.
Seem to be the focal point of Alatreon.
They sure are.
We hope you have lots of fun.
Now onto Frostfang Barioth.
So we have one more
The stuff they
monster
showed
we'd
on
like to talk about today, and
Frostfang
this one
Barioth
a
is actually really
special
interesting.
variant.
This new variant.
I really like his model. It looks so cool. Like, I like how he has all this disheveled fur around him. He looks very rugged.
I think. Like it's roamed around in a harsh frozen land all its life. The original Barioth had tusks with an orange hue to them. But this time, we've given them a more chilling appearance. They really make you shudder.
Yeah, his model looks great.
It's quite strong, right?
Yes, Barioth's breath has been strengthened. It is now powerful enough to freeze the ground. It will be hard to move around.
This is so scary.
By its frostbind status. This will keep players on their toes and force them to think carefully about their positioning.
See, this is... Okay, so Frostfang Barioth... This fight looks like it's going to be very different from fighting original Barioth, because it seems like Frostfang is definitely more projectile-focused than physical, like Barioth is. So he seems to have like a wide selection of ice-based attacks, ice breath, possibly like ice beams and stuff. He seems like he's going to be a really difficult enemy to fight, especially with the fact that you're going to have to be dealing with Ice Blight constantly. I wonder what the rate of Ice Blight buildup is going to be like on this, because I wonder if you get hit by the frost on the ground, if every time you do that you take Ice Blight, or what the deal is there, because Ice Blight versus Barioth is a very bad combination, so I think that's going to make this fight really tough. Especially if he's going to be spamming those ice-based projectiles.
Strategy otherwise is quite similar to the regular monster. In other words, aiming to break parts and preventing Barioth from moving is best.
A lot of these ice-based attacks really remind me of Velkhana's attacks.
But for this new armor, we put more of Barioth's white tiger-like design into the helmet part.
This armor is looking really cool. I love the way that they designed the helmet as well. Like they mentioned, the whole tiger-like design. I like how you can see the tusks. Just right here, like those icy tusks right at the bottom of the helmet. This part is pretty bulky, pretty big here, and then of course you have like the fur at the back to kind of be like the hair. The coat looks really nice as well too. You have like the fur on the side, which looks really cool. And it's a very long coat. Nice design. The one thing I'm very curious about though is that, like, obviously this is just one design. I don't know if this is going to be the alpha set or the beta set. But I want to see what the second set is going to be like, because I'm really hoping that it's Barioth's G-Rank armor set. Because, honestly, G-Rank Barioth, like, his armor set in 3U was one of my favorite sets, along with G-Rank Zinogre. It looked so cool with that white long coat with, like, the greenish-blue lining on the trim, I guess. And then the helmet looked really nice, how you had the tusks kind of... The tusks were almost like your ears, like they kind of sticked up. It was a really cool looking set, so I'm hoping that that's brought forward with Frostfang Barioth.
So you look like this awesome Frost Knight. We also touched it up so it has more of a heavy armor feel.
Female set looks pretty cool too.
Frostfang Barioth set bonus skill.
I love the Palico set. This looks really cool.
Punishing Draw is a skill that gives draw attacks stun properties.
The one-piece set bonus giving you Punishing Draw, and then Slugger for the 3 pieces. It's kind of interesting, actually.
This will allow some weapons to stun the enemy, even when they couldn't before.
Frostfang Barioth appears in an event quest. What's more, it'll be a tempered monster.
Now that's pretty interesting, the fact that he's going to be introduced as a tempered, as opposed to just a normal Frostfang, so... That's going to be a tough monster to fight, I think.
Next, we'd like to touch on updates to the game system.
This time, you'll be able to craft special tracks at the Elder Melder to call monsters in the
This is actually really cool, because yeah, we all know that sometimes looking for a specific monster in the guiding lands can be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but yeah, the fact that we can actually craft monster tracks now from the Elder Melder, that is actually a really good addition. I'm actually really happy about that. So we can get those rare materials a lot easier. That's super cool.
But we know that players can sometimes have a hard time finding a monster they're after. So we hope this new addition will help. And as always, we're adding new.
Skip through this a little bit. The guild cards are actually kind of nice.
We're adding new.
And then yeah, just the various updates here to the game systems. There's one thing here now where it says the Raider Ride call icon is now displayed on the item bar while you're in base. So that's kind of interesting. And of course, oops. Let me just make that play through again. Yeah, so we have Draw Charm 3, Phoenix Charm 3, and Fitness Charm 5 here. So that's pretty interesting there.
Now let's move on to the new downloadable content. First, we've added some new pendants.
These new pendants are pretty cool. The butterfly ones are nice. I really like the Fulgur bugs. That's really cool.
Yeah, the Paluma pendant we released earlier.
And then the Dracophage bugs there. The Paluma pendant that they mentioned was also a pretty cute pendant.
We just run with it and make more.
We can't forget about the new.
Honestly, I really like the pendants they've been adding to the marketplace. That stuff's pretty cool.
Grilled fish-looking thing.
That's a Beatotus.
Grilled
This
Beatotus.
time, we're preparing a lot of home decor related to Lineas.
Some of them came from the feline hideout, which I'm sure a few of you will remember.
Sounds good. We've also got new monster figures.
I have a feeling that
Sounds good.
these Puke Puke dolls are going to be available as physical items sometime in the future. Just like with since you can get the Palico dolls now, I think for sure these Puke Puke models are going to be coming through.
Figures and some new music as well.
So we finally got a Rajang model.
Be sure to check it out.
So this is pretty cool. So this list of pendants here. So we have Gold Heavenly Dragon and Silver Heavenly Dragon. So I'm thinking that means that there's going to be an actual, kind of similar to the Palumu pendants that you can get. You could probably have Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos as a pendant that follows you around. If that's the case with these two, this is going to be actually really cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with this. So then we got Ruby Crystal Knife, Amber Crystal Knife, Azure Crystal Knife. And then, yeah, the butterflies, different butterflies here. So yeah, the Fulgur bugs, the Dracophage bugs and stuff, and then different decor sets as well. And then the figures that we get, Tigrex, Adogeron, that's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to the Adogeron one. Radabon, Rajang, Kirin, Valhazak, Teostra, the Gajalakas, and King Gajalaka, that's going to be kind of cool. Brachydios, Lavasioth. And yeah, the Downy Crakes and Aptonoth one, that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm actually a big fan of the jazzy music that they've been doing, like the jazzy remixes of some of the songs. So that's pretty cool if there's more of that coming.
Now we'd like to talk about the upcoming Astera Celiana seasonal event. Of course, the gathering hubs will get an awesome makeover.
That's right.
It's live.
So I'm really liking the aesthetic for this summer event. This looks beautiful here. But also, when it comes down to the outfits and whatnot, yeah, like I kind of like this feathery, like bird-like outfit. Kind of makes you look like a phoenix almost, which is kind of cool. Especially the female set, you get like these golden wings on the back, which is pretty interesting.
So, meat?
Meat! Hamburgers, steaks, all sorts of meat.
And with each seasonal festival comes new outfits. First, the Handler.
Of course, the handler set.
They're wearing fancy samba outfits, decorated with feathers. We've never designed costumes like this before, so I think...
Puke Puke.
Yeah, so
It's really cute.
the Puke Puke outfit for the Palicos is pretty cute. I like that.
You'll want to check out Boogie, too.
I really want that Puke.
This Pookie outfit is so cool. You got Kulu Yaku on his back. Like, I think I've been using the Behemoth one for the longest time, but I think I'm gonna switch over to this once this is available. This is actually really cool.
Boogie he makes for a really cute egg.
The snowmen have changed too.
We got Samba Snowman.
Our designers always have fun with this, so we hope the players will too.
So, what about the armor that can be made in the event quests?
We have a faux Kelpie.
Oh, I forgot about
It's a
this.
little scary.
You got a Kelpie head.
Looks
Kind
almost
of scary.
As for Aptonoth,
And an Aptonoth head.
cute and
Seem to be doing a lot of
so
monster
both
heads
audiences will love
lately.
it.
We also have mug-shaped dual blades.
That is cool. I honestly didn't think that they could go more over the top with dual blades when they released the, what was it? I think it was like a pair of fish that you could hold in your hands, just whack people with fish. The fact that you can just hit people with a bunch of beer jugs is that's over the top.
And
That's
layered
pretty
armor
cool.
That becomes your default clothing when you wear it.
So it's like you're not wearing any armor.
Yup, your au naturel.
We've got rabbit ears too.
That'll be popular. They're cute.
They certainly will.
We got tons of content.
I like the
coming,
Gold Spring
so try
Macaque
to get them all.
headpiece there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so a lot of the this summer event stuff looks pretty interesting. And then of course we're going to be coming up to the roadmap now,
Finally, we'd
which will
like
be the
to
final
share
part of
some
the
information
final
on
part of
the
this
next
video.
title update. Have a look at the roadmap to see everything we discussed today. We're planning to release the fifth.
So this roadmap has me super excited. So of course we have Alatreon and Frostfang Barioth in tempered form coming out next week. But in the future, for fall, we have a returning monster. So if you guys remember, if you've seen my my thoughts on Alatreon video, I was talking about the fact that Alatreon being the first black dragon introduced to the series could potentially open up the door to even stronger monsters than Alatreon coming to the game. And I was mentioning that I feel that it would be really cool if Fatalis makes an appearance to the game. So I'm really curious as to if this returning monster could be Fatalis to the game. I highly doubt that this is going to be a returning variant or something. I have a feeling that this is going to be a big monster. Especially since Monster Hunter World's DLC has been fairly consistent when it came to the Monster Hunter power level kind of rising. Like, for example, with Monster Hunter World, the first monster that came out was Deviljho, then after that came Lunastra, so on and so forth. Eventually we got Behemoth. Iceborne has kept up with that consistency, with the first monster being Rajang, and then Stygian Zinogre came after. You know, both monsters that, they're both normal monsters, but their powers and their ecology allows them to kind of fight against Elder Dragons and kind of hold their own, even though they're not Elder Dragon level monsters. So they're kind of like monsters that bridge the gap between normal monsters and Elder Dragons, right? And then after that came Safi Jiva, and then, you know, we got two variants where we got Raging Brachydios and Furious Rajang, two monsters with power levels that significantly increase the power levels of monsters that were already pretty powerful, and then now we got Alatreon, right? So I feel that another black dragon stronger than Alatreon could be a very good possibility. So this, I'm really anticipating what this returning monster is going to be. So that is super cool. I'm really excited for this. And then of course the Master Rank layered armor as well too is going to be coming available. Finally, because I've been wanting to wear some Master Rank armor as layer armor for the longest time.
And so that's it for today's developer diary. We'd like to say goodbye with our usual parting words. Ready? Happy hunting!
Alright, so that pretty much takes care of the Dev Diary number 6. So a lot of really interesting stuff there. I'm really excited about Alatreon coming next week, because the changes that they've made to Alatreon seem really interesting. The whole mode changes and the fact that every mode change has him do a super move, that is really interesting. I wonder if that means that Alatreon's not necessarily going to have a super move, and that the super move has been changed into his elemental shifts. I wonder if that's what that is now, right? Frostfang Barioth looks really interesting as well too. Love the armor. Love the weapons from Alatreon, like the longsword that's finally coming back. And I also wonder if Dual Bladers are finally going to get an Alatreon Dual Blade set, so it'll be interesting to anticipate that. And then, yeah, of course, the upcoming monster, the returning monster coming in the fall, that is going to be really highly anticipated. I really want to see what that's going to be like. But yeah, in regards to that, that's pretty much my thoughts on the Dev Diary 6. A lot of really interesting stuff to look forward to on July 9th and in the future for Monster Hunter. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found it informative. And in regards to the merchandise and stuff, there's definitely going to be a lot more figures, models, and reviews coming in the future. There's definitely a lot of stuff being planned for this month, so I hope you guys stay tuned for all of that. But, you know, with all that said, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you guys have a good day or good night, depending on where you are, and I will see you all later.